Yes, welcome to tonight's show. Thank you, everyone who's joining us over on Facebook, TikTok, and of course, our main home, twitch.tv/MediaGlitch. 41 people in that chat. Not sure how many people are here. If you're on TikTok, hit that like button. Put those likes up. Tap that screen. It helps the stream out. And if you want to be part of this conversation, head over to twitch.tv/MediaGlitch. I am not alone tonight. I have some good friends with me. I'll start with our special guest, X. How are you today?
Super good. Super excited about this topic.
Awesome. Kag Man, MediaGlitch's own Kag Man. How are you today?
What's up, everybody? I'm doing pretty good. Just got off of work about an hour ago. I'm happy to be here, talk about some games. Let's go.
And we have down in the corner there, Karcamo, the Forger of Pain, MediaGlitch's own.
How are you? Guys? Okay, that's the garbage truck is on the window, so let's get the hell out of here, man. I have to do a live stream here.
I feel like anytime Karcamo has to talk, something happens.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. But hey, thank you always, Joel and the rest of the team for having me here. And so I'm so not ready, but let's do this.
Oh, you're ready. We also have our good friend from Intrigue Gaming. How are you?
What's up, everybody? I'm good. Can't complain. Excellent. Wonderful. Just enjoying the holiday off this weekend and ready to be on this Saturday stream. It's been a while since I've been on a Saturday stream, so I'm super excited. And I think I have a pretty good underappreciated game to showcase tonight.
Yes. If you don't know, the topic of tonight is underappreciated games, what we feel are underrated. And we also have the radicalist Reggie of maybe the world. I don't know. I haven't met a Reggie as radical as this one. And I'm talking about radical Reggie, as redundant as that sentence was. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Very excited to do this topic. A lot to talk about here, so I'm ready to go.
Awesome. So, all right. You know what? We should let the chat decide. I'm going to put a poll up. Who should start first? So if you want to be a part of what we do here every Saturday night, these topics, these live pickups, these video game streams, head over to twitch.tv/MediaGlitch. You will not be disappointed. And let us know in the comment section down below, what do you feel like is an underrated game? Because that's our topic for tonight. You can give two games if you want. It helps out. Okay, here we go. All right, so tonight's topic, what we're going to talk about are underrated games. Last week we did what we thought was the most overrated games, and boy, was the chat pissed. You know, you got Kag talking about Final Fantasy VII being overrated.
I'm still mad at Kag about that. I don't know why you bringing it up.
You bring it back to the emotions, Joel.
Me talking about how I thought God of War, the new one, is overrated.
Oh, that's super overrated, man. I prefer God of War 2, 1, and 3 over the new one.
Exactly. 100%. Thank you, Forger of Pain. But anyway, now let's see if we can bring some light on some of these hidden gems, for lack of a better words. I'm going to steal Metal Jesus and Radical Reggie's little thing there. Some hidden gems, maybe. Games that just didn't get the love or the respect that we felt deserved it. And X-Man, it's up to you to start this off. You better start off right. Don't mess this up. Go.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is worse than working on a generator with Joel and Reggie next to you in Dead by Daylight. But I'd like us to think of something in the way we word the word underrated. I don't think there are underrated games, and I don't think there are overrated games, because we have to think of when they came out, how they came out, and how they were promoted. There are things we miss because other things outshine them. You know, a lot of people love The Matrix. Not a lot of people got to see, what is the one movie with Christian Bale where he has a gun and he does karate?
Oh, man, I love that movie.
Right.
Gung Fu. I don't know what the...
Like Gun Kata or something. Like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Equilibrium.
So they came out at the same time. Yeah, Equilibrium. Yeah, they come out at the same time. It's just we miss them. So here's one of the first games that I think of that is underappreciated or underrated.
You only get two, Kag or X2.
This is my first one. BloodRayne 2 for the PS2.
Wow, I did not expect that.
Okay, good. That means I'm starting off good.
Yeah,
So to me, the first one, and these are available on the Switch now for digital download, 1 and 2. The first one is awful. The first one is super, super awful. The reason we fell in love with this particular game is because it was at the time when there wasn't a lot of female heroines out there. Not only that, but it was someone that had red hair. She mounted you in a sexual position while she sucked out your blood and cut off your head. That was the gimmick. That was
I
the
didn't know
gimmick.
where that sentence was going.
I'm into that.
That was hot for a second, and then it got scary.
But this one actually has good controls. There is none of the World War II killing Nazi aspect in this one. This has more of a storyline, and you have to look at it through a 2001, 2002 kind of view. Think of like Max Payne. The way that game works and the way that game plays, it's like that. Still a beat 'em up, still a hack and slash, and there's still a little bit of ETAs in it, which is really, really cool. So, BloodRayne 2, if you have the chance to buy this and play this, play it. It's a long game. There's about 8 hours of gameplay in it continuously. So that's number 1, Joel.
That is such a goth pick right there.
That's
From the Goth Master.
very, very gothic. All right.
I should have saw that coming, actually. I thought, is the next one The Crow on the PlayStation?
No. So I talked to Reggie before this, and I'm right on both of them, but I'm going to go with what I know more than anything else. Tenchu Stealth Assassin, Wrath of Heaven. Okay. I think this is super underrated or underappreciated for this reason. Half of this game, the first half of this game, is a remake of the PS1 version, the very, very first one. Everyone always skips over 2 and goes straight to this. The other thing is this. Is this game difficult? Yes, if you don't have patience. Stealth tactics is the way to go. But by the time this game came out, you had a lot of stealth games that were already out there. You had your Metal Gear Solid. You had your Sons of Liberty that was already out there. You had your Siphon Filters. So people just really overlook this. Why do you want to be a ninja all of a sudden? Why can't I be some military guy that's shooting? And that's kind of how this game really got looked over. If you ever have the opportunity to go get this, play this. And keep in mind, there are not just 2 characters in this game. There's a third unlockable character that's really, really good in this game.
Where I feel like the stealth mechanic works best in a ninja environment and how ninjas are and perceived. And, so it's surprising that someone would choose something like, and I love Metal Gear Solid, but a game like that, because when I'm playing that, I actually just want to shoot people. I don't ever want to stealth around. But if I'm a ninja, I want to feel like a ninja. I want that stealth, So, all right. What do you guys think, chat? Are those good picks? Did the Goth Man come through? I thought you were gonna do the Crow. Man. Loco Rocky says, for me, Sleeping Dogs, Evil Within 2, Resident Evil Revelations 2 are all underrated. Okay. Super Miguel says, Tenchu is so underrated. Facts. Mm-hmm. Right on. Okay. Who was up next? Oh, I think it was Karcamo, but he said he had to go. He's going to go grab.
I'm ready. Give me a second. I was looking for the game, man. Thank God I have that in alphabetical order.
Okay. Forger of Pain. Oh, you know what I should be doing? I should be blowing these guys up. I'm sorry, X. I forgot. All right, Karco, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Let's give Karcamo the spotlight.
Okay, so this game, I think it's a little obvious because I always talk about the PlayStation 1. That is my favorite console. I think that's the RPG machine because there's so many RPGs and they release so many of that genre of the ass. And I have one right here. And I remember Konami was in their heyday when they were doing, the Suikoden. That, by the way, Suikoden is like one of my best RPGs of all time for me. It's on my top 3.
Right on.
And so anyway, this was another one from Konami that I don't hear nobody talk about this game. Never. It's Vandal Hearts for the PlayStation 1. It is an underrated game. It's a tactical RPG. You know that in lamest terms, the RPG where the guy says in little squares like you're playing chess, but you're not really playing chess. And for the most part, the one that was more popular in the PlayStation 1 was Final Fantasy Tactics. And I'm gonna say it. I am going to say it. An unpopular opinion. I like this more than Final Fantasy Tactics. And so this game, it's not hard. I think it's even a little bit too easy. But I love the story. The characters are pretty memorable. Nowadays, I don't know if it's just me that I'm getting old or it's that I have too many shared shots on my head. But when I play a game that has a lot of characters, sometimes it gets really hard to learn all their names. And but this one wasn't an issue. Well, maybe because it was, I don't know, 1996, 7. But anyway, yeah, it's a great game. I think it has aged pretty well. It has a combination because it was popular at the time of 2D graphics with the 3D-ish background and the map thingy. It's pretty. I don't know if it's funny. It's the word that I'm looking for. But when you kill someone, like it's like really graphic. You see like all the pixelated blood, like
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like it was an anime, but it's totally not an anime. And yeah, it's a classic story where that has been told time and time again on the RPGs. Like, you're this guy, you join the rebels, you fight with the Imperials. But yeah, and this game is pretty cool, man. I think nobody talks about this game, Vandal Hearts. Okay, my next game, I was looking for it, but I was already. I mean, I have it back there, but I just didn't find it on time. But it's another game. It's a fighting game, and you might disagree with me, but I'm tired when people always talk about like the fighting games, and they like Capcom versus Marvel, and they always talk about Capcom versus Marvel 2.
Yeah.
And that's the one go game when they talk about the and they never mention Marvel superheroes. And I think Marvel superheroes is super freaking underrated, man.
Right.
And to me, like a perfect game because it's really hard to make a perfect game. There's always flaws and stuff. And for me, that's a perfect fighting game in every conceivable aspect, like the sprites, the characters, the gameplay, the music, the stages.
Yeah.
And so obviously, Infinity War and everything, and you like, dude, that was my Infinity War. And I played that game on an arcade. I don't know if I'm a little biased, but it's because I have great memories of that game. And like I said before, this might be another controversial and unpopular opinion, but I'd rather play Marvel Superheroes any day before Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I enjoy playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but I'd rather play Marvel Superheroes any day of the week. And I think it's underrated because nobody brings it up. Nobody brings that game up.
I agree. That is an excellent pick. In fact, I was playing it the other night, and I just liked the roster. I liked everything. Felt good. It ran good. It was such a great game.
Yeah, that was that game had the best version of Magneto in a fighting game. So,
yeah, totally.
I mean, Magneto in that game was just marvelly done. So great pick, and I just absolutely.
Especially if you give him the Space Gem, that magnetic shield.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And next up, Kag Man. Your 2 underrated games.
Yeah.
I know your first one. You really love Final Fantasy. You wish that was 7. Wish that was better.
Listen, I feel like I have to redeem myself from last week.
You can't, Kag. Don't even try.
Everybody got on me about Final Fantasy. Just keep in mind, I said it was overrated. Didn't say it was a bad game. Didn't say I didn't play it and I didn't like it. Just was overrated compared to the games, that genre of games that came out after it. So many better games than that. But let's get off of that, right? So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with one of the games that, for me, really was one of the best games. Definitely one of the best games. My top 5 that I ever played on the 360. It was also on the PS3. This game was epic from beginning to end. There wasn't a point in this game where it was slow. Not one point. Story was awesome, and if you like anime, you will really love this game. And also, this game showed people how to do QuickTime events. If you want to know how to do QuickTime events and make them work great, this game, because this game will teach you all of that. So the game I chose is Asura's Wrath.
Oh,
so one of the most underrated games when it comes to games on that was that the 7th, 6th generation or whatever. This game was absolutely fantastic from beginning to end. Definitely one of my top 5 games ever. The story in this is great, and it made you feel powerful. So it just was just like crazy. When you played this game, you felt like you were the man, kind of back like with Kratos and God of War when he was beating up all of the gods. This game made you feel like, excuse my language for this, but you were the shit from beginning to end, and you had a reason to go after it in this game. Epic battles, epic fights. So if you haven't played this, the game is still cheap. Pick the game up, man. You will not be unsatisfied if you don't pick this game up. It's an absolutely amazing game. So Asura's Wrath is my first pick. All right. So Joel is playing a video over there for me.
Yeah, I picked that up recently. I haven't played it yet, though. So I'm going to have to after this stream then.
Dude, you got to play this game, man.
It looks freaking crazy.
Did you not buy that, John?
Yeah, I bought that at Joel's in Albuquerque.
I was like, I
for
thought
a deal at GameStop. They had it in the back, and I got it for like $10 or $15.
It's worth 50. So trust me, you got to steal. The game is
I mentioned that in Radical Reggie's video we did, right? Like underrated PS3 games or something like that.
Yeah. It was called Before They're Gone.
Well, before they're gone, before GameStop gets rid of them, get that game. What's your second pick, Kag Man?
So my second pick is coming up. This one here, I'm telling you, a super overrated game. I mean, underrated game, excuse me. A super underrated game. A lot of people didn't even give this game a chance. They didn't play it, but it was an amazing game, open world game in a city that was never shown before. So that's really cool to be able to go to. And I'm gonna give this away by telling you. But it was open world in Paris. So this game is phenomenal. If you haven't played it, get it in your collection, Joe. I'm gonna play this video I got waiting for you over there. I think it should be Let
me see. I might have to get rid of one.
Okay, yeah, just drop the other one out. And then we'll put this one in here.
Thought I did it. All right, let me see. Here we go.
All right. So it is Saboteur. If you have not played the Saboteur, I'm telling you, dude, this game is so much fun. The art style of the game, when you come in, as you see it in the video, was crazy. He was like, yo, what is this, man? I have never seen this before. Then it transitions into...
I see why you like it, Kag.
I like it now.
Yeah, I was looking at a brothel.
Now we know what Kag's into.
Saboteur is so underrated. And this was one of the studio that made this was Pandemic Games. This was their last game that they made before that company was dissolved. So definitely worth having in your collection. You'll love this game from beginning to end. You will love this game. I'm telling you. A lot of people slept on it because it came later on in the generation. And like I said, this was done by EA and Pandemic. And a lot of people, when this game came out, had a bad taste in their mouth about EA. And there was a lot of hate going on about EA. So a lot of people didn't give it a chance. But trust me, you can pick this game up for about $10, $15, and it's highly underrated, man. Open world game. You can climb the Eiffel Tower. You can go anywhere in Paris that you want. and the game is so damn fun, man. So please pick it up. You'll definitely love it.
Right on.
So those
There
are
you
my
hear it from the Kag Man.
those are my 2 underrated games, man. And I hope you guys will give those an opportunity and play them. And you will definitely love those 2.
All right.
Royal says Reggie's last because he came in last on the.
Yeah, well, Joel hasn't even went yet, so we'll see. And Joel said the most underrated game. So I got 1 game, not 2. So
You can have
give
2.
me the memo.
Bring another one, bro.
I'm thinking the top of my head like that, man. It's all day to think of this crap. Anyways, so the game I got came out in 2018.
Oh, snap.
Made by Warhorse Studios. Game called Kingdom Come. I was a backer on Kickstarter for this game because this game, they started talking about this game like in 2015.
That's you right there, John. You did the motion capture.
Henry. And, it's a beautiful game. I mean, absolutely stunning. The graphics, the gameplay is unique in that the battle system, when you fight someone, it's really hard. But once you grasp it and understand it, you can wreck fools. But it's made to be harder than a hack and slash because it's not a hack and slash. The way you have to fight people in this game, and the way you wear your armor, you have to wear the different layers of.
Oh crap!
Just tried their best to make it be as real as possible. It takes place just about 60 miles outside of Prague, in a real live place in the world. They actually scanned the whole area, I believe, and like the terrain's the same. That they use the topographical maps, I guess. But it's War Thunder, it's made by War Thunder. Kingdom Come Deliverance. It got horrible reviews when it came out because of it had a lot of glitches, unfortunately, when it came to the Switch. Or I'm not the Switch, sorry, the PlayStation 4. But I played it on Steam and it had no hiccups at all. Wonderful game. Very deep. I played it probably 120 hours. This game does not get the credit it deserves. And you can buy it for super cheap now, like $10 or $15. I was so enamored by this game that back in the day I made a post. Like, here's the map. Like, in the map, it takes place in the real world, and there's these ancient treasures. So on Google Maps, you can see right here, I made a thing, and then I put the exact location of the ancient treasure. It went viral on Reddit. They got like 1,000 likes, and it had like 500 reviews on Google before it took it down. And people were just saying like good to see you, Henry, and like all these lines from the game. It was freaking amazing. So if you haven't played Kingdom Come, you can find it on Xbox, PlayStation, everything except for Switch, I believe, for cheap. Great made game, open world RPG set in Czech Republic back in the 1300s, I believe. So highly recommend it. It should have got a lot more love than it did, but it had some hiccups, some glitches when it came out, and it just got roasted for that. So a lot of people didn't give it a second chance. So that is my game, my most underappreciated game. It's the only game that I got for you guys today, but highly recommend it. And I don't think they'll ever do another game because that one failed.
The Radical Reggie. Reggie, what are your 2 games you think are the most underrated?
So I don't have any footage, but the first one is a game that we were lucky to get released in America, and I was so happy when I found out it was going to be released out here. This is Rogue Galaxy for the PS2. If you have not played Rogue Galaxy, it is an action RPG, very similar to the gameplay of something like Kingdom Hearts, but it has a much more mature story, understandable story, more likable characters, and this game just really blew me away back in the day. It came out around the time the PS3 was launched, and I remember that this game just kept me hooked to the PS2. Like, seriously, like everybody was all hyped for the PS3, but this game just really blew me away. And what's funny about this game, there's so much interaction between the characters. Like, they talk to each other like during when you're in like going through dungeons together. And when I say dungeons, it's not like dungeons really. It's just more like areas you search, like maps and different worlds and stuff like that. The travel system is awesome. The characters are just really a lot of fun, and they just really are well written. It's a really great game. And unfortunately, the thing about this game, I don't know if it had anything to do with the way it was announced, but it didn't reach that million mark where it could become a greatest hit. So they considered it a failure, unfortunately. So it's kind of forgotten about. And when you beat the game, it has an open ending pretty much. So they couldn't make it another sequel for it. And I figured they were, but they just were shy of missing that million seller mark in America, at least. And it never got a sequel. But I go back to this game probably maybe every couple years to go back and just reminisce about it and how fun it was. Definitely something that I feel like is super underrated. The game's available on PS4 as a download, and of course PS2 is. I figured it might be still pretty cheap, but most people might want to get it on PS4 because it's upscaled and looks a lot better. The next game here.
All right, we got a follower, Skycatcher. Thank you for the follow.
The next game here is Tales of Legendia for the PS2. This is probably
awesome too.
Out of all
Let's
the
see it
Tales
again.
games, yeah, no problem. Out of all the Tales games, this is the one I feel like it's the most underrated, and I love this game. If I remember correctly, this game wasn't really made by the original Tales creators. It was made by another company. I forgot what they were called, but this was pretty much the last 2D game on consoles. Hopefully I'm right about that. This game has an awesome story, really lovable characters. It was the first game that really had a big plot twist for me. You have a main focus in the first part of the story, but like I think around the fourth and fifth chapter, the game just makes a complete turnaround, and that blew me away. Great voice acting, a cool battle system, lots of fun, and just overall really cool game. And I never heard anyone really talk about this game. It came out early in 2006, if I remember. Maybe it was 2005. I can't remember, but it just wasn't really seemed like it was well received, unfortunately. And I feel like a lot of people forgot about this game, and I feel like it's totally underrated. To this day, this game still only released on PS2. This is the only way you can play the game on PS2. It hasn't been released on anything else, as far as I know. So that could contribute to why maybe it's still unknown to this day. But if you have a chance to see Tales of Legendia out there, definitely give this game a play. And those are my two.
All right, so my underrated games, the two I got are one is from. Okay, I'll just start. I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to give it away. But this is actually probably one of the most famous franchises of all time. But I always felt like this is the most underrated. This is the ugly stepchild of the series. And it's by far my favorite of the series. And we're talking about...
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good.
The Legend of Link.
Joe Valley, man. There you go.
Very good.
Right on.
In box.
Oh, yeah.
For a moment, I thought you were going to say Madden.
I thought he was going to say Mario 2.
No, because Mario 3 is better. I love this game, obviously. I love that it has RPG elements. I love that it has it's just totally different than all the Zeldas. And I was like, oh man, I'm so glad it's going in this direction. And then it never went back to it. I love the challenge of it because most Zelda games I feel aren't very challenging at all. Where I felt like this one had a little bit more. I like the going into towns, like they're talking to people, which you get in all of them. But there was just something about this particular Zelda, the overhead map, the enemies, just tough as nails. You wanted to keep playing. You wanted to see the next temple, what was going to bring, what the fight. I loved actually spending the time grinding in the beginning of the game. That way you could go to a palace and instantly jump a level. I loved all that. And so that to me, I feel like it's an underrated game of an overrated series. and I say overrated in love, like it deserves the rate that it gets. So, okay. Now for my last and final, you guys ready? Some of y'all know this. This is something that I have been preaching since I was a kid. This is something I've been trying to get video gamers to play, to understand, to love since I was knee high to a duck. And it's not just one game. I can't think of a game that is so underrated, but has such a longevity in series. And I'm talking about Ys. Ys, just in a whole series. You want to talk about underrated games, and I have a big Ys collection. This is like Ys 1 and 2 on the PC.
Damn.
There are so many entries. I mean, we're up to 9 in the numbered series, but if you count Origin, you count some of these other side games that they've had, there are a lot of Ys games out there. And I would always I remember growing up and people would say, oh yeah, I'm a hardcore gamer. I'm like, oh man, what do you think of Ys? That was always my let's see where you're at in gaming. And I would say, oh, what do you think about Ys? And they're like, what? I'm like, Ys, what do you think about Ys? Well, back then we called it Wise. Oh
yeah, me too, man. I thought it was Wise.
And it always surprised me how many people have never played the game. And still today, you can still ask that question and people still don't know what Ys is. And so thank you for the likes, John. Appreciate it. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Yeah, 128 likes. And that's, that to me, if I could just I'm always recommending this series. I'm always loving this series. I take a day off when it comes out, cited for Ys 10 one day. But I feel like not only is it an underrated game, it's an underrated game franchise that I wish got more love. So that's it. What do you guys think?
I agree with you, man. To be totally honest, never, at least in Panama, never in my life, I've met someone that has played an Ys game or knows about the franchise.
Right.
And to be honest, apart from you, because you have talked about that game, that series before, I think the only one not the only one, but one of the few people that I've seen on YouTube at least is Happy Console Gamer talk about Ys.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that game, man. And you're right, man. I've never met any Panamanian that knows about that game or the franchise for that matter.
Right. And it's sad. It's sad because there's a lot of good, awesome games out there, and they've only seemed to be getting better. It's debatable what's better, Ys 8 or Ys 9. At first I was Ys 9. There's a teeter-totter right there, Ys 8 and Ys 9. So, all right, guys, that is the episode. Let us know if you're watching this on YouTube. What is your underrated games? Thank you so much for watching. And this is where our episode ends, but we're going to keep streaming. So we'll see you guys. If this is the end for you, take care. And thank you, everyone here, for being a part of this. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Los Locos forever. 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 Los Locos forever.